So I thought the game crashed, but I guess it's just more Doki Doki pranks. Not sure. Guess we'll new game this again and see what happens. It's ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends groups walking back to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I'll always tell myself it's time to meet some girls or something like that. I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Like, I'm confused. I don't know if the game's blown up and deleted my saves or what, but you know, we'll roll with it. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with it. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Chad. Monica. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, athletic. Like, it's just going over the same thing again here. But I guess that's kind of part of the charm, right? Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. This game has like changed completely since I started recording again. Like it's kind of cool, but it's just such a huge change all at once. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one, the Literature Club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing if there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything, reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists the manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. Besides, the member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey Chad, by any chance are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would be a very happy thing. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. It's just so odd narrating the same thing over again. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about it right now. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Chad, you know that? That's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time, you're more important. I think a couple lines were different there, but I don't know. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs in a section of the class I rarely visit, being generally third year classes stuff. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki, but anyway, welcome to the club, Chad. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Of course it is, Chad. So let me guess, you're Monica's boyfriend, right? Well, no I'm not. Natsuki, the girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. The small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, that's Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Chad in the classroom. He decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Chad? The girls have a few desks arranged in the form of a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens a closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting in the effort for something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. So it's different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Chad, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something but keeps quiet. And not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, like a lot of things, stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you through a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp for something that I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I expected that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if the story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. What's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? Well, what? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say That Out Loud and Give That Back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. But why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer here. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing the level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Well, I'll sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. Then what? That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. You should probably start finding activities for all to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Chad? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now we reached the most important topic. I've bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind for the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stared back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought. The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Chad. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. Didn't you have one at some point that we've just conveniently forgotten about, I guess? And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. Self-writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Chad? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, you really just left us after all this. I would be super pissed. Chad, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Chad, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hee. Yeah, I can really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. Can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I have unlocked a special poem. Of course I would like to read it. It is a very special poem. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not really sure how to react to a lot of this stuff. It's definitely got my attention though. Okay, well, back to my favorite part of the game. Vivid. Ambient. Fester. Of course it's Fester. Dude, Starscape is a cool word. But we also have Kitty over here. Precious. Heaven Sent. I haven't heard the word Heaven Sent ever used in everyday life, so I'm picking it. Excitement. Disorient. I'm going disoriented, of course. Sugar. You know, we still gotta win over our girl Natsuki again, of course. Kiss. Lollipop. Swimsuit. You know, I love it. Spinning. Vanilla. Bouncy. No, not this one. You thought I was gonna pick that one, didn't you? Effulgent. Don't know what that means, I'm picking it. Okay, Valentine. Giggle. Childhood. I had one of those. Skirt. I had one of those too. Last one is nightgown. Love a nightgown. Hi again, Chad. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, ha ha ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least keep my word. Well, welcome back to the Literature Club. As the last to come in, as I was the last one to come in, so everyone else was ready to hang out. I just slurred for like 10 years. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks for keeping your promise, Chad. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Whoa, now. Whoa. What just happened? Well, come on, like he deserves any slack. I know you're not glitching out, my girl Natsuki. You better not be glitching out, Natsuki. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. You're kind of in the way here, but alright. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps a manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Poor thing. I'm sorry, Chad. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shifts Natsuki a disappointing glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Well, wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you really don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of the club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you want to mint it. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is How Is This Girl Accidentally Being So Cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. Enthusiastically, I take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I'll look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperation sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Fucking Monica! Didn't expect that. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. I'm actually a pretty big fan of that, to be honest. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just going to mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. Is that true? How did you know, anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? See, there's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns the box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls. It's a series I've never heard of in my life. This probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're going to judge, you can do it through the glass on that door. Got him. She points to the glassroom door. I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Chad. Don't judge a book. Don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shows the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exactly moe. Don't just stand there. Ooh. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall, beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't judge that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches. I think I've said this before, but scooches is a nice word. An inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. Open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional spaces, while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. Looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so, I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? She doesn't have any friends, Chad. Leave her alone. Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being well-liked. Eh? You still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. You know these kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. That's unexpected. I like it though. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Haha. Geez, that's enough. Are you going to keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. Okay. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. Looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight onto me. Hey. Oh no. Oh no, it's going after Natsuki now. No, game stop. Oh jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here. Monica reaches her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. Okay. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give. She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Chad. She's fine. This happens every now and then. Is she just low on, like, protein? Is that how that works? That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share our poems now?